Hello, Ophelia. My name is Charles. Um, I haven't seen you since you were just a few days old. And then I saw you again when you were a few weeks old. So I wanted to give you a letter. Your mother asked me to write you a letter when she was still pregnant with you, and I was unable to do that because my writing ability is so horrible. I started a letter to you many times, but never finished it. When I write letters, it takes me an exceptionally long time to do this, so I don't generally do it. There's a problem with my ability to organize letters and numbers in my head. So, anyway, I wanted to talk to you a little bit and let you know that you are loved very much by all of your family. Your mother loves you a lot. And because your mother and your father have difficulties does not mean that you are not loved or that you had anything to do with their divorce, because you actually did not. Your mother and your father love you so very much, and they only want the best for you. And it's difficult sometimes to get to understand what they want for you and why it's good, because sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just not good. And I just wanted to tell you that you're a very special girl, and everybody loves you. At least everybody I know. Your mother had joined the army, and she was stationed in other states, and she was stationed overseas. And that led a lot to the disintegration of her marriage with your father. So don't blame the United States, don't blame yourself. If you want to blame anybody, just blame your mother and father. But in reality, there's no blame. Your mother did some things. Your father did some things. I've done things. Your grandmother has done things, We all do things that are smart, that are stupid. We all do things that are great and wonderful, and we do things that are not the best. And this is part of life. And we learn from our mistakes, hopefully. And hopefully we can learn from the mistakes of other people, which is exceedingly difficult. So, grab some coffee. Your father and I like to think, are friends. I have always enjoyed being around your father, and I've always enjoyed being with him. And he and I have done a little bit of hunting and driving through the deserts of Idaho and Nevada. And I have always exceedingly enjoyed that time. And I hope that he did also. I have no ill will, I have no ill feelings, and I have nothing bad to say about your father. He's a good man. Doesn't mean he's right, but he's a good man. Just like your mother. She's a good woman. Doesn't mean she's right, but she's a good woman. Same with your grandmother. She's a good woman. And I'm going to move this curtain a little bit, get rid of some of this light. As you probably know, I live in Japan, and this is the room, my bedroom in Japan, and we have an Asian style heating air conditioning unit, In Japan, they only heat one room. They do not heat a house or cool a house. Although it can be done, it's usually not. So anyway, your grandmother was born and grew up in China, and she moved to the United States when she was in her early 20s, and she went to school to learn how to be a casino dealer, and then got a job in Las Vegas, and that's where I met her because I lived in Las Vegas. And things happened, and we decided that we would get married and move to Idaho and start a family. And we did. So your grandmother is a very wonderful woman, and you should be proud to have such a good grandmother. Your grandfather, me, I was in the Marines, and I lived overseas for a bunch of years, and I met people and became friends with people here in Japan. I decided that this is where I wanted to live. My mother, your great-grandmother on your father's side, hated people of other colors and other countries and other religions. And she taught me this, and it took me basically a lifetime to throw away the prejudices that she taught me, that I always considered to be real and natural and normal. And I find out they're anything but natural and normal, and that they are something that is taught. I was indoctrinated into hatred, and my mother was indoctrinated into hatred because blacks and Chinese and Japanese and Koreans, they're all, and non-Christians are all under white Christians, which is just not true. I've lived in this country. I've been to many countries, and I enjoy the difference. I really enjoy the non-Christianity in Japan. It's so wonderful not to be around Christians. It's so wonderful. But just to let you know, I want to talk to you a little bit about your aunt, Victoria. She's also a good woman who's made some really bad choices in her life. And many of the choices she made were to hurt her mother and father, Shelling and myself, and was to hurt us, and also that she didn't care if she hurt us. She didn't care that she hurt your mother, but she's still a good woman. Your mother has a lot of problems with her and will for the rest of your mom's life, and I am truly sorry for that. And some of that is my fault. Some of that is your grandmother's fault. But the majority of it is your Aunt Victoria's fault. So try to take your relationship with Aunt Victoria with a grain of salt. She needs help, and she needs love. And your grandmother and I were not able to give her that love that she needed at the time she needed it. For whatever reason, I personally don't understand. But that doesn't mean it wasn't extremely real to your Aunt Victoria. So, I just wanted to tell you that. My family history on my mother's side, I don't have a lot. We had my great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather, I'm not quite sure which, but anyway, came from Germany. He was in the army of the Kaiser, and supposedly he was in some sort of formation or doing something, and he was chewing tobacco. And when his officer or sergeant or officer came by, he swallowed it. And then, I don't know how much you know about tobacco, but swallowing tobacco is really not a good idea. And it created a nicotine poisoning, and he ended up in the army infirmary, where they, of course, discovered that he had swallowed tobacco. So now he's facing punitive charges, perhaps a court-martial. And so he deserted, went to, I don't know if he went to the Netherlands or there in Germany, but he jumped on a ship coming to America. And that's where he met his future wife, as she apparently helped him to have food and stuff. So when they came to America, they moved out west and created a drayage company, which is just a moving company. And so that's my great-grandfather. So after the First World War, German was not a language that was spoken very much, and my grandfather never spoke German again. He only spoke English, because by that time he had learned enough English. So that's enough for right now. I will try to make one or two more that are videos that are better than this. I hope this is something you enjoy or appreciate. If not, you can just delete it, but you should probably hang on to it. I love you very much. You're a good child, and you will be a good woman if you simply think. Use critical thinking for everything. For everything. And know that I love you. And know that your mother and your father love you. Your grandmother loves you. My brother, your great uncle, I know he has never met you, at least at this point. But I know we've talked extensively about you, and just the mere fact that you're his great niece means that he does love you. So I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.